Well, it's a wonderful thing that we have got such inclusive, wonderful community programs in our fair city. And if there's someone in your family who has the yearning to perform, but perhaps that person has a disability or they might be older than the average performing arts student, there is a group in the Adelaide Hills that welcomes everybody. It aims to connect community and empower individuals. And in the studio joining me is the owner of Rockit Performing Arts, Noni Vassos. Noni, welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Lovely to have you here. Well, can you tell us first, what is Rockit? What's your philosophy?
So at Rockit, we use the performing arts, dance, drama and singing as tools to help improve the health and well-being of our local community.
That's a great mission statement to have. Now, interestingly, you don't just provide performing arts skills. You actually work with physios and occupational therapists.
Yes.
And you have a social justice advisory board rather than a traditional board. Tell us about those things, please.
So the way that we operate, I have been very lucky in my education to understand just how powerful the performing arts can be and how it can change people, change their lives, and also allow them to feel more included into the community. So I have a group of advisors who work with me and help me overcome issues or advise me on matters that they've seen in the community that might impact my people. My group of advisors have backgrounds in law, politics, nursing, media, community inclusion, education and special needs support and therapy as well. So those people chat to me on a regular basis about what's going on in the area and what I should be aware of, and that then influences directly our curriculums and what we offer in the classroom. Also, if there is an issue that I'm not sure about, I go to them and ask them how I would handle something, or ask them basically for advice, and then they help me guide my way through different situations.
Noni, why run a performing arts business as a social enterprise? What's the reason for it?
The reason is my background is that I was an arts manager for many, many years, and I have written more grants than I can remember. And the one thing that I have found with grants is that you are bound by boundaries and bound by deadlines. And if you don't get your grant, you can't run the project that you want. So I decided to break the stereotype and try with something new. And I researched the model of social enterprise. And through that, I run a commercial arm of my business. And through that, I raise enough money to fund the projects that I feel should be happening in the community. So when people come to me and they have issues or things that are going on, I know I can respond to it directly with a program, and so I send my own funding into that program so that we can reach out to the community and make a difference.
How wonderful, Noni. Now, you have 5 target audiences that you write curriculums for. Tell us about those target audiences and how you do bring them in.
So our 5 audiences, we have young people, people with disabilities, the elderly, young families and mothers. And each of our programs targets those groups individually, but we also have the ability to connect those groups together. So we often have programs where there are intergenerational connections, and that brings more power yet again, because if our young people can connect to the elderly people, they learn so much more and they develop new friendships, and a little tribe basically starts to grow.
And I love that word tribe, of course. It is part of my name, and it is great to be a part of a tribe, isn't it?
Exactly.
That connectedness that you feel with your community, whatever that community is.
Yes.
And what I love about what you're doing at Rockit is that you're not just having specific programs for specific groups of people. You are making sure that people interconnect.
Yes.
So what are the benefits for able-bodied children who don't have any mental health issues or any form of disability than working with children that do?
So we've seen some remarkable changes in the able-bodied students. One of my favourite stories at the moment is a young girl who is 10 years old, and she is volunteering her time every single weekend to work with our students with more profound disabilities. And so every week she comes in, she works with these children. Some of them are non-verbal, they have Down syndrome, and she dances with them every single week. Her mum told me most recently that in the schoolyard she's noticing that instead of just going to the cliquey group of friends, she's actually especially finding those who are being outcast. And she's starting to branch out and make friends with them and become inclusive of them. So our kids are starting, and this is not just one child, this is everyone. They're starting to understand that they can be open to new experiences and talk to people that they may not necessarily connect with.
Well, we've got a couple of mums on the phone. They're involved with Rockit, so let's find out what their personal experiences are. Alicia's son, Sam, does not have a disability. Hi, Alicia.
Hi.
What does Sam get out of Rockit, do you think? What have you noticed about Sam?
Oh, well, I wouldn't even know where to begin, to be honest. So my son Sam, although he does not have a disability, he is a little bit of a square peg that doesn't fit in a traditional round hole. He loves to dance, but we had tried the more traditional dance school and it wasn't quite for him. And then Rockit Performing Arts came out with breakdancing, and my son probably is not as socially outward as I would like him to be at this age. And so through Rockit, he has learned incredible resilience skills. He has got to be up on stage, which is something that he perhaps was quite shy of initially. And I think that he's learning, like Noni said, how to be inclusive and how to really look outside the box and think outside the box with traditional friendships. It's been amazing.
Well, that's great. Self-confidence, resilience, and then taking those inclusive traits into your life in other ways is really rewarding. That's fantastic, Alicia. Thanks for telling us about your experience, or more importantly, Sam's experience.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you. And Lyndall's son, Luca, is also involved with Rockit. Hi, Lyndall.
Hi.
What's the situation with Luca?
Luca's a different guy than he was 2 years ago. He, was a sad guy. Now he's a happy guy. Which, when you're happy, you can still get cross and you can still have, anxious moments, but he manages it better. And I attribute it to Rockit and the messages he got about being yourself, exploring yourself, being the guy you want to be. And, yep, he's on top of the world now, but he came from a very dark place.
Well, that's incredible. And you think that a lot of the responsibility for turning Luca around has been from his participation at Rockit?
Yeah. I mean, he comes from a loving family. We give him loving messages. We get frustrated. He gets frustrated. That's family life. But the teachers care about him and they develop his skills and techniques. He sees that and he gets a great feeling out of that. But he talks about the messages that they give him about life as well. I don't know how conscious or aware he is of that guidance, but he takes it on and he lives it. He even speaks like the teachers sometimes.
Fantastic. So it's certainly cutting through. Oh, that's great. Thank you for joining us, Lyndall. Appreciate your input today. Noni, if we can just come back to Rockit, you've got your first internal dance battle, Top of the Tribe, speaking of tribes, happening this weekend.
Absolutely. This is an internal dance battle for our students only, and the purpose of it is that students step out on the dance floor and show off what they've got. At these battles, the intention is not about winning. It is about stepping out there, having the confidence to try something new and to express who you are with your individuality. So students don't have set choreographed routines. They make up the steps themselves. So it really pushes them to be creative and to take what they have learned and reinterpret it in their own way.
That's fantastic, Noni. Really wonderful to hear about the work Rockit's doing. And I know you've got very unique teachers and you're also always on the lookout for role models in Adelaide. So if anyone's listening and they think, I like what you're doing, how can they make contact with you?
They can reach us through our mobile number, which is 0438 704 261, or you can always send an email through to us because we're always on the move, and that is through our website, which is simply rockitperformingarts.com.au.
Wonderful. Well, congratulations on having such a great social enterprise.
Thank you very much.
And it's lovely that that's happening here in the Adelaide Hills, and thanks for telling us about it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Noni Vassal.